I'm Brigantia Blackbird of Blackbird's Brew. Happy Tuesday. Welcome to Modern Problems, Pagan Solutions. I would like to ask anyone who's viewing this video a question. Do you think that people can still recognize a win when it comes? Or do you think that people have become so accustomed to defeat that even victories still feel like losses? Maybe it's just the cloud of seasonal depression that's casting a gloom, or perhaps it's the general course of current events, but it does seem challenging to keep your spirits up, and I don't think that this sensation is confined to myself or just a few other people. The inability to take pleasure in anything good is a disturbing mark of ill health, especially if it's running rampant through society, and I would suggest in many quarters it is. And as we're moving into the literal light half of the year as the equinox approaches, it's also time to move into the light on a mental, emotional, and spiritual level. In other words, to emerge from the inner world and to take on the outer world and to cease being passive and become active, to be doing rather than done to. This is what I mean by welcoming the light. It goes far beyond welcoming longer hours of daylight when we finally have more light than dark in a 24-hour period. It's time to welcome and to step into the projective energy that is at our disposal, in nature and within ourselves. At a deep level, sane people understand that problems are not solved by ignoring them or through passive suffering, hoping that mercy will be shown to them. Oh no, problems are solved by taking corrective action. And few things are more life-affirming and confidence-building than deciding what to do and then carrying out that decision. Whatever that goal is, whether it's big and it has to be chipped away at over time, or if it's small and something that can be accomplished within 5 minutes of deciding to do it. As human beings, we are defined by our actions, and actions that are taken under our own power, not under duress, but as a result of independent decision-making. And this, when we do it, feels fantastic. The poem, Invictus by William Ernest Henley captures this spirit, and I would argue that poem actually embodies the true pagan spirit. And I want to quote the last bit of the first verse and then the last part of the final verse, which nicely make the point. I thank whatever gods may be for my unconquerable soul. I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul. This is the victory of willpower, the essence of welcoming the light, and the individual exercising self-sovereignty. Every time a witch casts a spell, or a pagan makes an oath to the gods and works to fulfill it, or that individual is seizing upon this energy. Every time any individual, regardless of faith, sets aside whatever it is that's holding them back and takes control of their affairs, begins making choices, dealing with the consequences, following through, they are seizing upon this energy. And of course, it is easier said than done, particularly if an individual has a tendency to be passive, but this still is not an impossible task. Anyone can begin by doing things that are within their immediate power. Small tasks like making the bed in the morning, for an example. This might not seem related to taking greater control of your life or making use of projective or light energy, but it's all about self-generated motion and creating a mental state in which an individual believes that they are worth the effort and that improving their circumstances is achievable and worthwhile. So making the bed, doing the dishes, pulling the weeds, whatever the task is, if it is something that you choose to do and making that choice improves your life in some way, then you have seized agency over your life. Over time, you realize you can do more and more. Your power grows because the muscle needed to enact these things also grow. And that's how the big stuff is ultimately conquered, creating a pattern of behavior in which you get things done. It builds up your confidence. You begin to set your sights higher because you are able to see, because you have welcomed the light and you are becoming that light. So those are my thoughts on the subject. Leave your own for me in the comment section below, or come visit me and the rest of the group on Blackbird's Brew on Gilded. The link to join us is in the description box below, and you would be very welcome there. But that will do it for now, and I will see you next time. Bye.